My name is Rose Unger. My maiden name was Bukszpan. I was born in Poland in a little town, Staszów. The life in little town was very nice because everybody knows everyone. And after school, we used to get together in the parks, on the forests, and play and sing. And life went very nicely. I come from a big family. I had six sisters and one brother. Jedwa, Miriam, Feigele, Leje, Tzvi, Hannah, Rose, and Rivka. In the school was very good. The teachers were very strict with us, but we learned a lot. And after school, we had to go to Hebrew school to learn Hebrew. There was anti-Semitism in the school and all over. The Polish people really were brought up from when they were young children to hate us, and I don't know why, really. I have a lot of good friends, Polish, that we spent hours together after school and helping each other. We were Orthodox and Zionists. I remember the holidays. My mother used to come from temple, always crying and praying that we should be next year in Jerusalem. And we children were influenced by them. We belonged to organizations, to Zionist organizations, and we really strived to go to Israel and build up our land. We were successful, very successful. We had 3 big houses in the city, and my parents had a business, textile business. My father used to go twice to the synagogue every day. And even winter time, when it was dark, he got up about 6, 7 o'clock and went to shul. So they prayed the morning prayer and the evening prayer. Life was really very, very pleasant till we grew up, and it came the time when Hitler came to power. My parents thought of selling out everything and going to Israel because times were very, very bad. When Hitler came to power, it changed the whole life in Europe because we really looked up to Germany. Germany was a powerful country, intelligent, and we could never think that they are going to change and to become a country what they were. They were very much against Jewish people, and they were punishing Jewish people, and they wanted to get rid of all the people in Germany and in Europe. And they made plans to do so. And from Germany came to us one man, I remember, he was very, very poor, and he was eating every day in another house. For example, every Tuesday he was eating in our house. And he used to tell us stories, what happened in Germany. But we couldn't believe it. It was behind our understanding. That's what he told us, that Hitler is killing every Jew in Germany, and he wants to do it in the whole Europe. And till he came for many months, I remember he came to our house until it started the war in 1939. When the war started, I was with my mother in Krynica. We used to go there, and that was the month when I came back from Israel, because I went to Israel to look if we can really arrange our life there. But times were very, very bad. It was very hard to get a job, and the conditions were very, very bad. So I decided to come home back. When I came home, my mother took me to Krynica, and there we listened to the radio that Hitler occupied already Czechoslovakia. And Czechoslovakia was very, very close to Poland. Then my mother said, now it's time to go back home. And we came home, and the life was very, very bad. Hitler occupied Poland, and soon when they came in, they made a ghetto where the Jews should live separately. And for example, we lived in 4 or 5 rooms. The rooms were taken away from us, and we lived only in one room. And the other families that they came from around in Poland, they came to our city. They placed them in each room, one family. The conditions were undescribable. The typhus was the sickness, and all the people died. There was no help, no medicine. We heard that the Jews are killed in every city, and we were the last ones, because we all the time gave the Germans money and gold and silver. Whoever had something gave, and that they should let us be alive. But it came our next. And then we took a Gentile man and paid the money, and to bring my parents, my few sisters, and a few grandchildren to a city, to Nowy Korczyn, because I had a brother-in-law from there, and we thought that there is already there not any Jews, so they can hide. We all the time prayed to God and hoped that tomorrow it will end. Tomorrow it's going to be a different day. And we sent away the half of a family. And that was the last time when I said goodbye to my mother. I remember she cried and I cried. I was taken to a concentration camp. In to our city came doctors and other professionals that they were running away from Mielec, because in every city they made Aussiedlung. That means to kill all the Jewish people. And they ran away and they came to our house. I don't know how they did that. And we were hiding them for many, many months. And the SS was searching for the people that ran away from this Aussiedlung. And when it came to our city to kill us, they ran away, and they told me, Rose, you are intelligent and you are young, you must run away, if not they'll kill you. They're killing everybody. And they went to a concentration camp, and they said, we are going to a concentration camp. But when we'll be in camp, we'll send you a Polish man to bring you there. And it happened like this. Maybe 2-3 days later, it came a man to our house, knocked in the door, and that was Schlesser, his name. And that was a man that was dealing with my parents the whole life. They were poor Poles. They went to America. They made money here. They came back. They bought farms. They were very rich, and they were dealing with my parents. And they said, you must run out from ghetto, and when you run out, we are going to wait for you in forest, and we'll take you to the camp where your friends are. And we ran out from the ghetto, and there was a boy standing and watching, and he says, and he recognized me from school, and I begged him, and I said, let me go. And he let me go, and I went to the forest with my sister and brother, and the Polish man was waiting for us. He put us on a place with horses under furniture, and this way he brought us in the evening, late in the evening, to his house. And when we came to his house, a younger brother came down, and he took away everything what we had, and he said, you are going to be here till the morning, and in the morning you must run out when it's still dark, because we don't want you here. And in the morning, I remember we were so tired. In the morning, he came down, he said, you must go out. We went out without anything. We didn't know where we're going and where we are. And at that time, my brother and sister were very, very tired. There were neighbors too that went with us. I told them to stay in the forest, and I went to the Polish people to ask maybe they can give us something to eat. When I went there, the SS got a hold of me, and they said, what you doing here? And I told them, I said, I was at the time very, very young. I told them that I have a brother and a sister in the forest staying, and that we are hungry, and that we were searching to go to a camp to work because we are young and we want to work. He listened to me, and he said, come on the wagon with the horses. And I didn't really know in forest where I am, and really I believed that an angel, somebody led me to the place where they were waiting. When they saw that we brought them the cess, they were out, they couldn't even talk, they were so scared. And I told them everything is going to be fine, because he went and called up a Vernichtungslager, which means a lager that finish you up. Vernichtungs means to finish you up. And we are going to go there. And we went there. I found my brother and sister, and we went to the Vernichtungslager. When I came there, I found girls that they were out of their mind. They were there for many months, and they were like crazy. They didn't know what they are saying and what they are doing, and they were fighting with each other. And I was looking at them, and when the evening came, I talked to them. I said, girls, we don't have to help the Germans to finish us. They're doing a good job. And don't be like that. Let's help each other. And I talked to them, and they understood, and they really changed completely. So they told me, you know what? You are going to live till tomorrow. Here is an assessment that he takes beautiful girls, and he does with them whatever he wants to, and later he kills them. When I hear this, tears were falling from my eyes, and I couldn't fall asleep. I was up almost the whole night. And in the morning, when all the people went to work, usually when it was dark, about 6, 7 o'clock, and it was winter time already, it was January, and it was really cold and snow and ice. It came the assessment, and he told me to follow him. And he took me to a place where they have shoes, and he told me, count the shoes. And I just couldn't count till 2. I didn't know that after 1 comes 2. I was all trembling. I was very, very young, and I said, now I'm facing death. Now I'm going to be dead. And it took him maybe 15, 20 minutes till he came back, and he told me, Andres. So I got him, I took him by his neck to a window, knocked the window out with him, and opened the door and ran out. When the girls saw that, they said, and he tried to kill me, but I fell from being scared, and then I got up and went to the girls there, and they were kissing me and hugging me. They said, what did you do? I said, I knocked him to a door, and I rather choose death. And the whole lager was, when the people came back from work and my brother found out what I did, he just pulled out his skin from his face. He said, you are going to be killed, and what will we do without you? But I said, better to be killed. And at that time, I met my husband, because all the boys wanted to know which girl it is. And I wasn't scared at all. I remember the Jewish leader from the camp said, stupid one, you are going to die today. I said, what's your business? I want to die. It's enough. And I really was proud of myself, and wasn't scared of him at all afterwards when we were in camp. But God just make a miracle that the camp was destroyed already, and they sent us to one camp, the girls, to a girl camp, and the men to a men camp. And that time I parted with my husband and with my brother, but I told my husband, he said, give me your hand that you are going to marry me if we live through this. I said, listen, you are talking out of your mind. We'll never be alive. It's impossible that we should go on and be alive. But we were apart at maybe 2 years. He was in some place, I was in another place. We didn't know from each other. There was no contact. And I was many, many camps. My first camp was Bieszatka, Huta Komorowska, Plaszów, Częstochow. Skarżysko. Then we went to, from Skarżysko went to Bergen-Belsen, through Buchenwald, then to Dachau and Turkheim. And there I was liberated. We were sent from one camp to the other because nobody wanted us, nobody needed us. And the Germans wanted to protect their life because when they were with us, they weren't sent on the front. So they tried to push us from one camp to the other. And wherever we came, nobody wanted us. And I remember it was in Plaszów. It was Yom Kippur. I don't know how I knew this day. I really don't know because there was no calendar. We weren't in touch with nobody. We had no radios. We had nothing. And I remember that Yom Kippur, and I said to the girls, you know what? We are not going to eat today because it's Yom Kippur, and let us not eat. And we were crying, remembering what went on in this holiday at home. And then came the SS and pulled out maybe 2,000 girls to be killed. And I was sitting with my sister. My sister was holding my hand. And I was sitting with my head down, not to look at the SS. And she used to say, Rose, if they'll take me, will you follow me? I'm so scared. And I said, don't worry. If they'll take you, I'll go with you. And it took maybe a half an hour. They took us out, maybe 2,000 girls to be killed. And when we looked up, when they left, we were left just a few in a big, big shop where we made hats for the SS. Hell. I always said that there is not enough words to explain and to describe the way our life went. There was such a sadism. They were so low, so bad. That's unbelievable to describe the life what went. We wore appel. It was appel every morning when it was dark, and it was in Poland in January and February, where it was very, very cold. We were working in taking out trees from the ground. You can imagine winter when everything was frozen. And we had to take them on with the roots. And when we left the roots in the ground, the boy or the girl was killed. With the temperature, I went to work because staying home, that meant dead. Then you were killed. After it was the appel, we went to work, and they went to assassinate all the barracks, and whoever was there was killed. And I remembered that in camp, I risked my life and went out to bring food to the camp. And I went with another girl. And really, that was our life was at stake. Just if you didn't do anything bad, you were killed. And I remember I came to a very poor house to Polish people. And there was smelly, but there was a little child. And I picked up this child. I said, are children still alive? Because our children were dead in the ghetto. All the children. And I was crying so much. It's still in my mind, and this girl that was with me. And we kissed this child, and we embraced it. We couldn't believe that the world is still children, that there's still people alive, that people are still normal, because we were for so many years in another world, in a hell. It was the last Aussiedlung to Dachau. And at that time, I was hiding under a door. I said, I'm not going no place. It was from Turkheim to Dachau. And after they left, I went out, and I saw another few girls were hiding. And we went. We didn't know where we're going till we came to Bad Werishaufen. And there I knocked on a door, and I said that I'm a Polish, and that the camp was burned, and I'm looking for a place where to sleep and where to eat, and I would like to work. She asked me if I know how to handle horses and cows. I really was scared of horses and cows my whole life. When I saw it on the spot, I said, of course, my parents had a farm. I know how to handle it. And she said, yes, you can remain here. And she gave us a place in barn to sleep with the horses, but it was heaven in comparison what we had. And we slept there, and I was the one that worked, and she gave all the girls food for everybody. And we were there about 2 days, maybe 3 nights, and then we didn't know what's going on outside of us, and then they knocked in the barn, and we asked, who is it? And they said, Americans. We came to liberate you. You are free. And we were numb. We were numb. We looked at each other, and we don't know. We were scared to open the barn, well, what they are going to do to us. But I said, let open it. We have nothing to risk. Let open. And I opened the barn. The Americans came. We kissed them. We fell on the ground and kissed them, I remember. And they said, you are free. We couldn't believe it. And then they came, and we went to the camp, back to the camp. We started searching who's alive. It was impossible to contact because there was everything was broken. The transportation, everything was from bombs, you know. But it came after many, many days, maybe many weeks, came a girl that was from my city and said, Rose, you are alive. We knew it that you are alive because Unger, my boyfriend, is looking for you, and your brother is alive and your sister is alive. So after many weeks, Henry came to the camp, and the people were so nice, and they took Henry, they said, Henry, yes, she's alive, she's here, but sit down and relax because we are very scared, or you or she should not get a heart attack. You know, it was right after the liberation. And they came to me and told me, so you know that Henry's here and he's waiting for you, but we don't let you go to him, not him to you. We want you should get used to it. Because they were scared, and I think they did a marvelous job. And then Henry came to my room. You can imagine the way it was. It's unbelievable, really unbelievable. Both of us were screaming and crying. And then we were very, very happy that he told me that my brother is alive, my sister is alive. And then we decided to get married. We were the first people to get married in camp after the liberation. So it wasn't too much of a thing. Here you see I'm dressed up in a gown. That wasn't my gown. That was already weeks later when from where the girls took a gown, everybody borrowed it, whoever got married, you know. They went then to Bergen-Belsen to bring my brother and my sister to Turkheim, and we settled in Turkheim to wait for our going to America. My brother, Tzvi, was the cultural leader, and he was very, very bright. Old man died. He was the first one after the liberation to die. And everybody said, Tzvi, you must come and say a few words. Who's going to talk about this dead man? And he went, and I didn't let him go. I knew that he's too gentle, and he had a heart attack on the cemetery. And I never saw him again. And he's buried in Turkheim. I tried to apply and put my name here and there. Maybe somebody's alive that we can contact. And that's why my aunt, I had an aunt in the United States that I never knew her. When she left Poland, my mother was maybe 15, 16-year-old. But she applied and searched for us, and she wrote me a letter. She found out. Wherever it was a possibility to put my name that I'm alive, I did so. And she found me and wrote me a letter, and I was delighted to hear that she's alive and that I have an aunt. And she said, Rose, I'm going to bring you to America. In 1947, we had a son, Leonard. And my brother was too married, and my sister was married, and my brother had a son 6 months later than I had. He's now in Australia, an architect. My son is in United States, a lawyer. And then in in 1953, we had a daughter, Ida, that is a high school teacher. Our life in the beginning was very, very hard. We really struggled. Henry had 12 jobs during the year. I couldn't take a job. Mine, Leonard was 2.5 years old. We didn't know any word in English. We didn't understand, but we started going to school and to learn. I couldn't go to school, so I bought a dictionary, and I studied at home. And we studied English. And after 3 months, I was really very good in it. I began to speak English, and so was Henry. And when Len was 5 years old, I went to work as a helper in a kindergarten. And at that time, I was the luckiest person. I didn't suffer from hunger anymore. I had bread and potatoes enough in my house. And life began really to go smoothly in rolling, and I went to college, which my husband was very much against that. But I said, I must go to college, and I must help out the family. And I went to college for 8.5 years. I earned my bachelor's degree in education and started working from kindergarten. I went to work in first grade. After 36 years working in the 2 schools only, I was honored as outstanding teacher in Los Angeles. And I'm really, really proud that I could instill knowledge and wisdom in children after what I went through. I have 3 wonderful grandchildren. My son has a daughter and a son. My daughter has a son. They're beautiful, and I'm looking to have a lot of joy from them. Till now, I just, at night, I think, how could I do it? How did I do it? But I was very, very ambitious, and I really wanted to, as much as I wanted to die because it was impossible to go on anymore, I wanted to be alive. I said, let one be alive to tell the world what happened. Nobody would know what happened to us. I'm active in many, many organizations and supporting with money and with the work to make sure that it could never happen again. Such a Holocaust, never again. As I said that I come from a huge family, our family was very, very close. And we had, in Europe, we had a lot of children. My mother had 18 grandchildren. And they were really beautiful children. They wrote poems in ghetto in the worst time to get up and to fight those Germans. And we were left only 3 survivors. Were left from maybe over 100 people in the family.